Hey guys, it's time for another read aloud, and today I'm going to be reading to you Dumpy La Rue, which is written by Elizabeth Winthrop and illustrated by Betsy Lewin. Now, when I first picked up this book, I was like, these illustrations look really familiar. Let's look at the cover and then we look on the back. Don't those animals kind of look familiar? So I looked it up. They look like the animals in Click Clack Moo. I'm sure you've all heard of that story, Click Clack Moo. Now, guess what? They have the same illustrator, so that is why our illustrations are going to look similar to Click Clack Moo. Now the author is different, so it's written by a different person, but our illustrator, the person who draws the pictures, is the same, so that's why you're going to see a lot of similarities in the illustrations between Click Clack Moo and Dumpy La Rue. So let's figure out what Dumpy La Rue is about. Now, we see there's a pig on the front. So it must be a story probably about a pig. Let's find out. Dumpy La Rue by Elizabeth Winthrop, illustrated by Betsy Lewin. Now, as I'm reading, I want you to think about the author's purpose. Remember, author's purpose is why did the author write this story? Did the author write this story to inform us of something? Did the author write this story to entertain us? Remember, entertain means to make us feel good, happy, just something to enjoy. Or did the author write this story to persuade us? Now remember, persuade means to convince. They're trying to get you to like something or not like something. They're giving you their opinion about it and trying to persuade you into thinking what they think. Dumpy La Rue wanted to dance.
"You're a pig,"
said his father.
"Pigs don't dance. They grunt, they grovel, they snuffle for truffles."
Pigs don't dance, said his mother. They bellow, they swallow, they learned how to wallow. I want to dance, said Dumpy. Fat chance, said his sister. Boys don't dance. They fight, they march, they sport, and they snort, and they're never, ever supposed to cavort. Cavort? I wonder what that means. Let's see. So Dumpy wants to dance, and his sister is telling him that boys don't dance, that they fight and they march, they sport and they snort, and they're never supposed to cavort. So maybe cavort means to dance around, because he's wanting to dance and his sister's telling him that they never do that. So I'm thinking that cavort may mean to dance. You see how I used my clues from the story to help me figure out what that unknown word meant? But Dumpy La Rue was a pig who knew what he wanted to do. He twirled in the sty, raised his snout to the sky, spread his hooves far and wide, and pretended to fly. The cow came by, then the horse and some fowl, a mule, 14 sheep, and a fox on the prowl. A turkey all gobbling, a goat and his mate, and 5 gray rats who were quite overweight. They stopped and they stared. They leaned on the fence. 'Twas the first time they'd seen a pig who could dance. Hey, Dumpy, you're dancing, yelled the goose. What a kick! She hopped up and down. You look pretty slick. Dumpy's father buried his snout. Dumpy's mother tried to go out. Dumpy's sister knocked off the flies, sat down in the mud, and covered her eyes. What feelings do you think that his family are feeling right now? But Dumpy La Rue was clearly a pig who knew what he wanted to do. He slipped in the slop, he slid in the slime, but no matter what, he always kept time. He did a glissade, a pas de bourrée. From slop heap to bucket, he jetted his way. Jetade, sorry. He's a porker with passion, a dancing fool, a pig with rhythm. This breaks every rule, said the normally reticent mule. What is reticent? Reticent. What does reticent mean? What do you think reticent means? Said the normally reticent mule. I think reticent may mean the normally quiet and keeps to himself mule. Mule who normally doesn't talk to other people and normally just keeps his feelings inside. That's what I think it means. We want to dance too, cried the sheep. It looks fun. Why should he be the only one? What's the tune? Yelled the cow. What's the beat? Called the horse. You can't hear it, of course, said Dumpy La Rue. It's all in my head. You have it too. If you want to dance, if you want to glide, just close your eyes and listen inside. The turkey stopped gobbling. The barnyard grew quiet. Even Papa Pig decided to try it. Some heard bugles, some heard drums. Some heard mothers humming hums. Some heard Roombas, some heard swing, some heard choirs of angels sing. Some heard jazz, some heard blues, some heard the slap of tapping shoes. Then all of a sudden, in twos and in threes, the animals stirred like the leaves to a breeze. The cow shimmered right, the horse turned a twirl, till his long knobby legs were curled in a curl. The goats did a two-step, the fox did a three. The mule danced the salsa with a neighboring tree. The rats formed a line and shuffled down the lane, and when they reached the gate, they shuffled back again. Papa Pig waltzed Mama all around the sty. Even Dumpy's sister bounced a little on the sly. You were right, called his mother. You were right, cried his pop. Once you get us pigs a dancing, we don't ever want to stop. Now his friends had learned to dance. They would never be the same. They would tango in the hay, they would rumba night and day. Word would spread far and wide of mules that twirl and sheep that glide. Folks would come from high and low to see this most amazing show. The barnyard ballet of Dumpy La Rue, the pig who knew what he wanted to do. That was a great story that had a great theme or a lesson about being yourself. And that we all hear different music inside. We all march to the beat of our own drum. That means we all do what we want to do, okay? We all are different, and that's okay. Dumpy La Rue was different, and look what he ended up doing. He ended up creating a show where everybody came far and wide, and all the farm animals were dancing. So, now what I want you to do is at the beginning of the story, I asked you to think about what the author was trying to do in the story. Was he trying to inform us of something, to tell us about something? Was he trying to entertain us? So it was just a story to make us happy, make us feel good, give us something to listen to, something fun. Or was he trying to persuade us? Was he trying to convince us of something? What was this author trying to do? Now, throughout the story, he used what we call vivid words that really helped paint the picture for what he was doing. And while you're doing your writing, that's what I also want you to do. I want you to make sure you're using words that help your reader paint a really good picture of what you're trying to write, especially while you're writing at home, because I'm not there to ask you questions about it. So it's really important that you use a lot of really great words that help to really describe the story you're trying to tell me. So now that I have you doing all that stuff, what else do I want you to do? That's right, go take an AR test.